Yeah, welcome to your preview shows for the Pro Motocross Championship. Back in person, Jason Weigandt, Steve Matthes, Jason Thomas. We did the Monster Energy Supercross preview shows on Zoom, and that's really not that good. And you people complained, like everyone does on YouTube all the time. But for once, I would say those were justifiable complaints. So we're in person at the Supercross finale at Rice-Eccles Stadium, hoping that no one gets hurt tonight or this afternoon, because then these shows will be dated. Thanks to Monster Energy, Maxima, New Ray Toys, Fly Racing, and Motosport for backing the shows. Yeah, it's motocross time, even though there's still one Supercross to go, Steve. This is exciting, though.
Well, there's lots to talk about when it comes to motocross.
Yeah.
Near the end of Supercross, I'm excited for motocross. And near the end of motocross, I'm excited for Supercross. Sorry, SMX guys. But I'm excited for motocross. This is going to be really awesome series. This 450 class is on fire. So lots to talk about when it comes to this and lots to discuss. I'm sure his takes will mostly be wrong and mine will mostly be right.
Okay, so we're Zoom or in person. It's the same show as usual, as you can tell. But yeah, JT, the great unknowns of normally we know that Supercross, let's be honest, that's like the one the guys want. This year it's flipped. Suddenly the focus is on, let's see, let me read the names here. Jett Lawrence coming back from injury, Hunter Lawrence, Eli Tomac, Jorge Prado. I guess Jason Anderson's back on a bike. How do we possibly guess how these guys are going to do?
That's the key. I mean, we are guessing.
Yes.
Right? And speaking of bad take, Steve, this is all collectively SMX. It's not just the end. That's
yes,
SMX,
this is a 31-round
It's
World
all
Championship,
SMX.
Steve.
Your checks will clear. These guys' checks will clear.
But no, I think we have an exciting end to Supercross Championship here, which is a really cool venue. We've never done it here at the race before. I'm into it. But look at the lineup for the opener. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it's the most exciting motocross opener with the most anticipation we've ever had, because we have the old champions, Tomac, right, coming back. You have Jett, who is kind of, I don't even know if he's in his prime yet. And then you have Chase, the defending champ, and then you have a two-time defending MXGP world champ, all colliding at the same time. We've literally never had this setup before. So how could you not be excited?
And most coming back from injury, so we don't even know the situation for most. So I'm going to do the right thing, the respectful thing. I'm going to start with Chase Sexton here. You can get this at New Ray Toys. See this number 4? They actually give you a sticker kit so you can turn it into a number 1 bike. Look, is it fair to say Chase Sexton is the favorite? Usually the champion of the series. It's like you got to go through him. We know he's 100%.
It is. It is fair.
It is fair to say that he is the favorite.
When you are the only healthy one of the contenders,
yes.
and okay, relatively healthy, he
Yeah.
has momentum, he has his base fitness, everything's clicking for him, and you're the defending champ, and I don't care how he got to be the defending champ, you could say injuries, whatever, he deserves to, I think, be the favorite on paper. He does.
Are you worried at all, Steve, with the injury timeline for these others? Obviously, we think probably Jett Lawrence and Tomac at the top as guys that could win this. Do we know if they're ready? Is that a factor?
It's really going to be a deal of who gets back 100% the quickest, right?
Yes.
And so we got a leg injury, we got a knee injury, we got shoulders, we got a few things going. So we got to look at the anatomy of a body and figure out which one heals the fastest, because Sexton's going to be 100%.
Yep.
He's going to be ready to go. He's really good at Paula.
Yep.
I do wonder sometimes, because sometimes as we see, as the Supercross series gets near to the end, the two contenders, they don't really ride motocross, right? They just focus on Supercross.
Yes.
Now, that might have happened with these guys. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Chase Sexton is a badass anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But maybe the fact that these other injured guys will have a little more time on moto, but then they're injured.
Yeah.
But then, it's a real wild card. But I'm with JT. You got to go in with Chase Sexton being the favorite. He's got to pounce early and get some points on some of these guys who may not be 100% to start.
I agree with that, but I do think that X factor of, let's say Jett and Hunter have been riding for 3 weeks, but it's nothing but motocross. We have seen guys who didn't race Supercross. The injury thing is hard to judge, JT, but we've seen guys who didn't race Supercross get a head start in motocross.
Yeah, and just because I say that Chase is the favorite, that doesn't mean he's my favorite to win this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I just think if you were analyzing it fairly, and let's say, NXT Bets was playing, I think he would be the worst odds.
Yeah, the data would say he's
correct.
the guy. Yes.
I don't necessarily think that's how racing works.
Yeah.
There's too many other dynamics.
Yep.
If you look at Jett Lawrence's recovery timeline last year, when he came in September, he surprised everybody.
Yep.
I think he's really on the front end of recovering. Like, he's super healthy. I think his body just heals quicker than most people. So we'll get into our picks, but I don't think it's as cut and dry as Chase has all the momentum. He's the guy. I think it's really nuanced.
Okay. Chase Sexton, is it also a help, Steve, that you talked about the bike a lot last year. I would assume he doesn't need to worry about it that much this year. And whatever testing he's not getting from Moto, does it matter at this point? Just roll out last year's thing?
I wouldn't think so, but if the 18 is up front, maybe the bike develops some issues.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's happened before.
That happens. That has happened a time or two with these racers. But yeah, and he's going to be at a better spot right away. But let's face it, the KTM, his adjustment in Supercross went a little rough, but outdoors went pretty smoothly. Didn't hear a lot of behind the scenes things about the bike. So, I think it'll be on point, close to it. I just got question marks about everybody else as we go on. And honestly, we should almost do this show after Paula, because that will be like, 100%, 90%, 75%. Like we'll know a lot more. So we really are kind of guessing.
Do you worry a little bit about, because Chase has been really good at Paula over the years, but last year wasn't his best Fox Raceway effort I've ever seen.
He hung with Jett in the second moto.
Yeah, but like you think about,
it was fine.
You think about the year prior, he was all over Jett the entire
closer,
time, and then he had won, I think, every time prior to that.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. Like, I think it's so critical, and it could go his way. If he doesn't start well, he doesn't have a really good opening qualifier, he doesn't win the opening round, I wonder what that will do to his psyche, because he knows this as well as we do. He is the most prepared right now. I believe that. He's the most prepared. And when you know it and everybody else knows it and you don't get the job done, and that's a really negative catalyst for thinking of like, well, if I can't beat them now, how am I going to beat them as they get better?
I'm going to drill down even deeper. If it's Prado in front of him, if it's Tomac, any of the other guys, that's one thing. If it's the 18, is that different?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Hunter's probably got the most time on moto out of the guys coming back, although communication with the Tomac camp
oh, really?
It hasn't been there.
But he's been riding for a while.
Yeah,
we saw videos.
Yeah, I still think Hunter's before Eli.
Okay.
So
getting back on the bike.
and I think Jett's a little bit after Eli. So we got Prado maybe around the same point as Jett.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with these guys, with the other contenders coming in. So it should be interesting to watch. I mean, we got a lot of things in play. We think Eli Tomac's not going back to Yamaha.
Yep.
We think Chase Sexton's not going back to KTM.
Yep.
We got a lot of guys that are like, hey, this is my last swan song. I want to show these guys I want to go out on top. Or I'm going. My contract's done. Let's ride this thing out.
It has gone both ways.
It
I
has.
mean, guys have won titles while they're leaving teams. Eli Tomac's last season with Cowie Outdoors led to, I think, a 10-11 finish once at Thunder Valley when he wasn't hurt. Made no sense at all. So we've seen it all. We'll give you more, but I want to shout out our sponsors. Monster Energy, our title sponsor always for these shows. Maxima's on board. New Ray Toys, no matter what number you want on the bike. I think we're going to have to talk about this number 2 in a moment. Also, Fly Racing, JT.
Yep.
It's been a great season, by the way.
Don't jinx this.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't.
Don't say this.
Maybe I shouldn't.
No.
It's been a great season.
No, but I know where he was going.
I'm not going to say
it's out of our control.
There was no crown. Yes.
No, and as we sit here, Coop has a championship points lead.
Yeah.
Whatever happens here in Salt Lake, by the time you see it, we'll all know. But it's been a great season no matter what.
Well, congrats to Fly on the Supercross title, everybody. Congrats to
wow.
Well, if you don't care.
But no, that's not what he was going to do.
Edit this out.
That's not what he was going to do.
He was going to go there.
No, he wasn't.
Here's an interesting factor. Cooper Webb is scheduled to race Pro Motocross. I don't think people are even thinking about it. I was in a meeting yesterday where one of our analysts said, hey, is Webb racing motocross?
What?
There's almost like an assumption, because he never ends up doing it, like you have to ask the question. The plan is, he's a full-time racer.
But, okay, so halfway through Supercross, he said his thumb still gave him a little bit of issue.
From last year?
Yeah, the thumb still wasn't perfect. He'd mentioned that.
Oh, no.
So,
oh, no.
I mean, does he go into Hangtown and jam the thumb? And now Christian Craig's been told, keep riding. If there's anything going on, you'll jump in. I don't know, man. Like, Coop's got a lot to prove outdoors. And he says the right things about, I got to show I'm better. I want to be better. And he's a champion. And so you take him for his words that, his outdoor results haven't been great.
But what happens if
I would not be surprised.
What happens if he goes to the first 2 rounds in California and he goes like 6-8?
That's what he will do.
7-9.
With this field?
I know.
With this field,
that's what I'm saying.
it's
it could
possible.
happen.
No, and then the
and
thumb.
his motivation is going to go, right? So we don't know what's going to happen. But you could see a scenario where he either takes time off, gets the thumb worked on, and then comes back for the SMX playoffs and then has a healthy offseason. Because that is the most important thing in this whole dynamic is going into 2026 and the SMX playoffs healthy.
For him.
The one thing, and you two will love this, is the seeding for the SMX.
It matters.
It matters.
It does.
These
Thank you.
These guys have told me that. It makes a difference.
Steve's coming around, yes.
I'm not with the gimmick series at the end of this year, but it does make a difference. If Tomac hadn't came in at a deficit last year, he had a chance.
Think about that last moto between Jett and Hunter.
Yeah.
The seeding was huge.
Yeah, it was.
So if you're Coop loves money.
Yes.
That's one thing I know about him. He loves money.
Me too.
So he will want to stay in to get the SMX points to try to be closer to the overall champion, probably Chase Sexton, at the end of the year.
Yeah, and just as a note to that, Ken Roczen said he has the ankle surgery, so Roxon's not racing the end of Supercross. He's probably going to come back for 2 or 3 of the final rounds just for SMX seeding. Yeah. He's going to say it's for gate drops, but let's be honest. They know that 2 or 3 extra points could be 50 grand
and it
going
into SMX. It seemed like he enjoyed his pro motocrosses when he's done,
when he
no
jumps
pressure.
in. Yes.
Not the 250 class. No, he didn't enjoy it.
That was not good.
True. That seemed like
but
it didn't go that well. But the other times he's like, I'm just having fun because there's no expectation. I don't have to worry about titles. No one's like, hey, are you going to drop off towards this? Like, there's none of that talk.
Yeah.
He can come in. He can do his thing. Like, remember how good he was at High Point? He almost interrupted the perfect season in 2023. Like,
the closest anyone really was. Yes.
I mean, had he not crashed in the second moto, maybe it would have happened.
Yep.
So he would be a great addition whenever we see him.
I guarantee, I want to talk about one rider. I guarantee that this guy here is higher on than I am.
Oh.
And that's Jorge Prado. He's coming in with shoulder injury. He's probably not going to be 100% when he gets in. He's been riding a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, look.
Okay, where are you at? And then
where I'm at, I'm at like 4 or 5 guy.
Okay.
Maybe
no
a podium.
podiums.
No. Podium.
Maybe a podium.
Yeah, podium here and there. Like
See, I'm
not
ahead of that.
maybe a podium.
I'm ahead of
Podium
that.
here and there.
Okay.
But and obviously injuries matter. But just like anyone, I think coming in behind the 8 ball and the short amount of practice.
But he's been
riding.
He's been riding for a while.
The heat and things like that we experience. So I look for 2026 to be better for Jorge Prado. He's a bad dude, but give him a year. Let's just back all that down a little bit.
So is he in front or behind Hunter?
He is behind Hunter.
Really?
Yeah, he is
okay,
behind
I will
Hunter.
take the other side of that.
All right.
I think people are forgetting how good Hunter was last year. Yes, Sexton beat him for the title, but it was his rookie year, and dude, it wasn't a walk away. Like he was giving him
Prado ride?
fits.
I flew to Italy to watch him ride.
Hunter wasn't that far off of the champion of the series in his first year.
Yeah,
he was. He's great.
Yeah.
This is not a slide against Hunter.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the 2-time defending MXGP champ.
Let's take the shoulder prep thing out. JT, what is the analysis on new bike, new team that he's never raced on, tracks he's never raced on, the super short practice, which new tracks, and he's not used to that type of schedule, weather, humidity, all that. Just take the injury out because we can't analyze it.
Yeah.
The adjustment pattern for him.
It will matter. I think that Monster Kawasaki is capable.
Yeah.
But he's going to have some things he hasn't dealt with. He has a production rule, so the options are a little bit different. I think the new tracks and a limited amount of time on them is the biggest challenge.
And the heat.
But that's not going to be till later. Okay. We probably won't see heat until June, July, right? Like early on, unless we get an outlier, the first rounds are really agreeable, which will help him. But heat is a thing. I'm with you on that. I just don't think it's going to be a thing for a little while.
Well, I saw a tweet that said Paul is going to be 100.
It's going to be 70 on Monday.
Okay.
So there's that. You're right. It's 100 today, but it's going to be 70 on Monday.
It's 2 weeks from now. We don't know what the weather's going to be like.
You're big. Yeah,
it's 2 weeks.
All right, forget.
Two
Sorry.
weeks. But yes, we have a 14-day forecast.
Prado is a kind of a known quantity as extremely talented. Like he's never raced a championship where he wasn't in the fight for the win ever. Like literally, has he ever raced a motocross championship where he wasn't battling for the championship ever?
Yep.
So for me to think he's going to come into this one and get like 5th all season to me doesn't pencil out. I just don't see it.
Also encouraging, we didn't see him much in Supercross, but the starts translated. He's known as maybe the best starter in the world.
Different gearing, different everything.
It did, because remember Tom Vial was a whole shot machine in Europe, and it has not translated at all to America? I think we saw enough of Prado to be like, nah.
It's still going to work.
The starts are going to be there. Yep. And JT, on the MXGP circuit, a little low-key, he blocks. A little low-key, he's hard to pass.
He's very good at riding defensively.
So that's a huge factor.
Well, and this is a dynamic that you see good starters develop. Justin Cooper's good at it. Vince Friese's all-time at it. But they're used to running from the front, right?
Yeah.
So their dynamic is get up front and then block everybody behind you, where a guy like Tomac, these guys are start from the back, work forward.
Yeah.
It's completely opposite end of the spectrum. But I think as long as your point is great there, where Prado, different ECU, different gearing, different tire, different everything, he was still hole shotting. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's almost impossible for me to think he's not going to be top 3
So do you,
85% of the time.
Do you put him in the, so it's pretty clear. It's Jett Lawrence, Chase Sexton, Eli Tomac.
Yeah.
3. Do you put him in there, or is he the next tier down?
A lot of the time, yes.
Okay, I put him in the next tier down.
I don't.
Yeah, that is the ultimate
But
question.
I don't think you have any evidence to support why he would be a tier down from them.
I don't think you have evidence to support
I do.
he would be.
I've watched him race, and he's never been in the second tier group
He's
of
on the
riders ever.
He's in the best bike over there, and again, heat, practice, all the things we just talked about.
But
he will be better in 2026.
He's never in his career been in the second tier.
But he's
ever.
also never come to America to race the AMA Nationals. Like,
Okay.
This is why we do these shows.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, where
if
are
I
you
had to
at?
vote,
Where-
if I had to vote, I'm going to say he's up there as good as anyone. I would not be surprised if
you
he's
just
winning
said
races.
Hunter is going to beat him, or will be.
No, I said
around
Hunter.
there.
I don't think we're thinking. I think we're forgetting how good Hunter
So
is.
is Hunter in the top tier? Should I put them?
It'd be hard to rule him out. I mean,
So
dude, he
I
gave
put-
Chase Sexton all he could handle as a rookie.
I put Hunter, J.
Yeah.
Coop, Prado, AP, one down from those.
If there's a race where Prado goes 1-1, I don't think we should be like, what?
No, I agree.
When have we seen the MXGP top tier race against the USA Motocross top tier, and the MXGP just be like, we can't ride with them?
No,
like
great
that
point.
hasn't happened in 15 years.
I went to Glen Helen USGP.
And Fevro won.
I saw Eli Tomac.
Oh, no,
win.
Eli Tomac did clean up the 2016 GPs that people do not speak of.
2016.
People do not speak
You
of
just said
these
when was
races.
the last time?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, actually, we saw it.
No, when they
10
come
years
over,
ago.
though, it's very rarely
Of course, he's
do
gonna.
they struggle.
Yeah, he's going to be right in the mix.
That's just what I said.
He's
You just said he wasn't going to be in the mix.
He's a tier down from the top 3 guys.
Let's move on to, this should not even be a debate, the number 3 here of Eli Tomac, thanks to New Ray Toys. I think everyone assumes it's Eli Tomac. He's a legend. He's great. Last time he raced a series, he was the champion. But hold on a sec. That was 3 years ago. He's only raced 2 outdoors since. We don't really know the situation with the leg. I think when he first got hurt, he thought it was no big deal.
Yeah,
Maybe
he had said he was hoping to come back for Supercross.
Yeah, he'd be racing here. That hasn't happened. Steve, you've been starting to get on the, we're going to see it every week from Eli or not train. I'm a little worried. That we're not going to see the 2022 Eli Tomac in the way people are probably assuming it's Eli. He's just going to be back to 2022 form. I don't know. That's 3 years ago.
Yeah, and he's 3 years older, and he's been hurt 3
A lot.
times now. Yeah,
Yes.
like it's going to be tough. But
Yes.
I do think Eli will be. My expectations for Eli are higher outdoors than indoors. You know
They
what I mean?
are?
Yeah, just because I feel like he's a better outdoor guy. He's
Oh,
got
no,
more
I go the other way
championships.
as the guys get older. I go
Oh,
the other way.
okay.
Yes. I think just physically, and I know it's going to be weird when you think of whoops and rhythms, but I think you can smart your way through Supercross. I feel like there's an element of motocross of just letting it hang.
Oh, so he's not gnarly?
But just, I feel like the first thing that goes on the risk older thing might be fourth gear tapped on a gnarly, you're tired, it's sunny, you can't see. That's why guys tend to go Supercross only, I feel, as they get older. That's what I think. I think we might see a decline outdoors first. What do you think?
Oh man, he's going to be great. You know,
Okay.
but qualifying great is what we're arguing about. It's what we argued about with Prado. It's what we're arguing about with Hunter.
Yes.
I think Tomac deserves to be a little bit above that conversation as far as great, because we've seen it so many times on these tracks, on this team. We've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the same team, the same bike, the same dynamic, the same tracks. We have proof of all that. It's just can he and I'll come back, can he be at his best self every single time? Because to win this championship, I think that's what it's going to take. When you have this many guys this healthy coming in, you're not going to be able to throw up like a Thunder Valley result that we're all scratching our head about and going, but you just gave up 23 points to Jett or Chase. I don't think you can come back from that in this field. So that's what it's going to be about is it we're going to see flashes, but we're going to see flashes every single weekend is going to be the question.
I'm a little worried.
This was
I think everybody's
my
got
take
San
in
Diego.
Supercross, and he got all mad at me. My take was that.
No, that is true.
And now
That is true.
now he's imitating me.
It is
and
true. He has come around to your take.
I think he has. I think I won.
But we're 2 years later.
No, for this year. Supercross
he said
this
for
year.
25 Supercross.
That was 24
No,
going in.
what
You
you're
started that
saying-
take in 24.
What you're saying is my take in Supercross, and you were like pushing back against
Going
it.
into 24,
Now he
I
did
was
win a
pushing
race.
back.
He did win it. Now, going into 25, he was pushing back.
I guess he's saying you said it both years.
Okay, well,
You've been saying
I
both
pushed
years.
back the first year.
I think a lot of us easily have the San Diego beating Jett Lawrence straight up in our head as like, that's Eli. Do we know if that's guaranteed to be Eli every single week from now on.
Well, and this is also, so we're 2 years past the initial when you brought that up.
Yeah.
And how many injuries passed? Like,
I know.
we're compounding
Yes.
is the problem. And as you get older, when you hit the ground, you don't get up the same way you did. Like, these things get harder to overcome as you get older.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So when Eli was leaving Cowie, was that the year Osborne won 450 motocross?
Yes.
Wasn't it? Was that his
No,
last
that was
summer on Cowie?
Ferrandis. He had 2 years. There was Osborne and Ferrandis here.
But Tomac was in that class. He blew up both motos.
No.
In 20,
but that wasn't
But the
his
last year
Okay,
was
never mind.
Ferrandis'
All right,
title.
My theory doesn't
21.
Okay.
Because we think he's leaving Yamaha.
Yeah.
And my theory was that Osborne title, he kind of mailed it in once he
Well,
realized.
the Loretta's, he was good after. He came back pretty
The last year was
strongly.
21. He didn't beat Ferrandis, so you could still run that if you want.
Ferrandis was really good.
Remember like how good he wasn't like
I feel like he was
Ironman
right there.
that year. He came back strong.
He
but
did.
He DNF both motos of Loretta's,
So
and that was the
my
end.
only question is like, hey, we think he's leaving Yamaha, so he's a little bit like,
Yeah.
you know, obviously he's going to go in with all the full intention and everything else.
Yeah.
But once he kind of gets beat a little bit, is he like, well,
If that happens.
yeah.
I will say,
So-
I believe he won the very last moto of the year when he was on Cowie.
are we going to talk J. Coop and AP or no?
We're finally there.
Oh.
Finally there. There's so
I don't
that's
feel
what,
like we talked enough about Jett.
I got a startling stat that's going to
Yeah.
really fire people up in the comments.
It's valid though.
When you told me this
Fair.
stat, I
Yes,
thought
you
were
were-
wrong.
you questioned
Yeah,
this.
I questioned it.
I know it's hashtag deep field, and I know we don't know what's going to happen because everybody's hurt. But I still feel like until he's done racing, you have to always carve out the possibility that Jett Lawrence just dominates. Okay, I know he didn't win the motocross title last year or the supercross title this year. Fans that don't like him are going to say they had him on his back foot in supercross.
He was at the Met Ball.
Yeah, he was at the Met Ball. I'm just saying he might have won the overall at Glendale. He might have been the first two-time winner in supercross this year. He might have been the point leader by the time that ended. He might have been fine in supercross. Here's the startling stat. He's still only lost one 450 motocross race in his career ever. The only overall he didn't win was Hangtown. Even after that, he won High Point and Thunder Valley and Southwick. Is there a chance we're just back to Jett Lawrence just beating everybody
Yeah,
all
I
the
thought
time?
he lost High Point.
Nope.
I thought Chase got
Chase
whatever. Yeah, I believe
had
you.
it and
Yeah. Okay. But
tucked the front.
yeah, I mean, there's ultimately a perfect scenario where he comes at Paula, goes 2-3, 3-1, just kind of getting back into it, and then 1-1. There's totally a scenario like that.
You have to carve out the possibility that he's just ahead of everybody,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But maybe he
I'm
doesn't
not
win
saying-
Paula.
Maybe, yeah. And maybe he doesn't dominate. But we shouldn't be shocked if we're halfway through the year and you're like, ah.
I mean, when I opened the show by saying Chase is the favorite on paper, but he's not my favorite,
Yeah.
it's because of this.
Yep.
I
Yep.
firmly believe that Jett Lawrence is the best motocross, supercross rider on the planet, period. And anytime he's healthy in racing, I'm going to pick him to win. That's
And
how it goes.
Look, they had some problems with the 25 Honda and Supercross, but they rode the 25 the previous summer outdoors, so
Yeah.
we're set on the bike.
I think they're battling a little bit there.
Okay.
I think they're still working through some things, trying to get comfortable there.
We did see Motocross the Nations. Looked pretty good there.
Yep.
Tim Geiser rode great, but
They'll get
like,
there,
yeah.
but I just don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's been as
Yeah.
easy as they were hoping.
Yeah, so with all this intrigue of all the guys coming back that we don't know about, yes, two riders we're not thinking of because we don't really have the huge question marks to discuss are Aaron Plessinger, who was great last year, not quite on the Hunter Chase level, but right there, and Justin Cooper, who's definitely on the come up now, what we've seen at the end of Supercross. And you could probably argue he's just as good, if not better, outdoors. But dude, this is a tough field.
Yeah.
He's
to
got to
jump
get the
into.
starts. J. Coop has to get the
yes,
starts.
yes.
If you tell me that he's up front every time,
Yeah.
which we know he can be,
Yes.
then I think he can be in that podium fight.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's starting 8th to 10th,
Nope.
he's not passing Chase, Jett. I would even argue Hunter, Prado, Tomac. Like, he's not going to move through the field, nor has he really ever. If you look at his entire career, he has, even in the 250 class, if he started 12th, he would get to like 6th.
Yes.
It's crazy when you think about it that way because he's had such a high degree of success overall.
Yeah.
But he really has to get these starts in this type of field. Like if you told me Tomac started 12th, okay, fine. Sexton, fine. Not
Yeah.
J. Coop.
Yeah, and Plessinger, I mean, look, he became a podium guy all the time, but it's such a variance, this field versus last year's. But you know, we have to also think of the possibility. We assume all these guys are coming back, and then they'll all be fine. They'll all race all 22 motos.
Yeah, we got Malcolm in the mix too, and
Yeah.
Anderson. We haven't talked about that.
Barcia, yeah, exactly. So we assume that once these guys all come back, that there will be no other hiccups. I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody could get hurt at round 2.
I
of guys get hurt.
really think that Anderson's going to be on the back foot. You talk about riders who, I mean, he just started riding again, took a lot of time off.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how it goes for Anderson.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe he was just pedaling on his bicycle every single day since we saw him in Seattle. I truly don't know.
Yeah.
But you look at the field, you look at he hasn't been riding a lot, and what he's up against, he needs to come out swinging early or this thing could spiral quickly.
Okay, our shows are brought to you by Motosport. Steve?
Yeah,
like to speak on that?
motorsport.com, great guys, dedicated team of gearheads there. They have the Ultimate Ride Sweepstakes that they've launched now. They giving away a grand prize of a YZ450. It's each and every week. They got some cool prizes. Fly Racing stepped up for 1 week, and a lot of cool companies are involved each week. Motorsport.com. They are giving back to the fans of the sport by giving away really cool prizes each week, and it's free to enter. So go to motorsport.com, check it out. YZ450 grand prize.
Yep. And Monster Energy, of course, our title sponsor. Time for some segments now. What is this, Steve? No, that's contact cleaner. I don't even know what that's used for. I literally don't.
Yeah.
This one.
SC1, this is stuff that you want to use.
Yeah.
It's new bike in a can. Simply spray it on your bike after a wash. It's all shiny, all new.
Or
It
even
looks
if you don't
fantastic.
wash it.
Yeah, if you don't do
Oh,
that.
beautiful.
Yeah, there we go. SC1, it's great. Smells good. They got air fresheners also. They'll throw in air fresheners into Maxima. if you
SC1
want.
air
Yep,
freshener.
Yep.
Yes.
New bike in a can. Some say this is what I use my entire mechanicking career.
Instead of washing the
Yeah,
bike,
yeah.
you just spray
Yeah,
SC1
Well, he got
on
fired for not painting a frame when he was supposed to, so he just used
Just
SC1
sprayed
instead.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Did it come out blue?
I wish that was around back then.
it. If it was blue.
Yeah.
Blue SC1. So, wow, the aroma is quite air freshening.
It's great.
Give me a pick, an SC1 pick to shine here, Steve, on the 450 Pro Motocross Championship.
Well, like the title,
Yeah, why not?
Jett Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah, Jett Lawrence. I think
Yep.
I think the crown is still there because he got hurt. He didn't get beat. He got hurt. So give me Jett Lawrence.
Who's going to fly, JT?
Let it be known that under any circumstances where Jett Lawrence enters a series healthy, he will be my pick. It's just going to be an auto pick. You could just have it like set up your auto pay for your bills.
Yeah.
That's my auto pick every series as long as he's healthy.
Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly what I was going to say when I was thinking about this show. I feel like until someone beats Jett Lawrence straight up in races, which has barely happened, especially outdoors, and for a title, which has not happened in a long time, until they can straight up beat him, I have to pick him. Can racing luck happen? We've already seen it, 2 big series in a row, but I'm gonna go with Jett as a favorite. Yeah.
Shout out. We think Antonio Caroli is going to race a Ducati at Red
Yeah,
Bull.
that's wild.
That's awesome.
really
Can't
cool.
wait
Yes.
to see that.
Yep.
And then HEP is hiring Benoit Patureau, French kid, won the Dis Nations, good rider.
Yeah.
They're hiring him to take Cheers for the outdoors. So that'll be interesting to see Patureau.
He'll be
here.
in the top 10 sometimes, and people will be like, "Who is that?"
Yeah, who is?
Yeah,
He'll
French
be
guy.
he'll be the
Comment Sal.
no.
No. Okay.
The guy, the
Boutron.
Is he?
He'll be the Jose
Boutron.
Boutron of our series.
Harry Koulas? Would be Harry Koulas in
Hey,
the series?
Okay.
He's
Actually-
better than Boutron. I want to
Actually-
put that on,
Oh, okay.
on the front, and he's better than Boutron.
Who?
Patureau.
Oh.
Okay.
Uh,
Koulas.
flying at the test track.
At
Club MX. I heard from a top rider
Okay.
that Koulas
Oh,
is
our producer, Chris Bond, be
yeah,
very excited to
He
hear
is
this.
flying at the test track. So yeah,
Yeah.
I look for a lot more features
If
on
we
Harry,
only had someone
Harry
who's been at
Koulas.
club, who has seen people ride at club, if we've
Great,
only
great job
oh
this
my-
season. Great,
Here, hold
great
that.
job, Leach. Wonderful job.
Thank you.
Wonderful job.
It's,
how classy the guy
Oh,
is.
just-
Look at this.
just-
Look at the outfit.
yeah.
Look at him. Look, carrying the
listen,
show.
I know when I'm talking motocross, the man I want to talk to is Justin Brayton. I mean,
Steel City, 09.
Well,
And
the
JT, probably a bunch of battles in the day.
No.
There's
I was
so-
better than you, and then you were a lot better than me.
so many Brayton motocross moments. I mean, let's
Second
talk.
overall at Redbud. I mean, America's race. Come on, Steve. Give me some credit.
All right.
Yeah.
So Koulas flying at the Club MX.
I was there last week, and he was just doing some testing.
Oh,
so
okay.
him and Phil had a little banter going on. I do know that there's lack of parts and materials for Koulas because he came in Phil's shop and grabbed a tire. Hey, can I borrow this? Phil says,
Okay.
sure, go ahead, you can borrow that. So
Okay. All right.
that's my
Borrow.
Koulas
All right,
update.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, it wouldn't be a preview without Justin Brayton.
Justin Brayton.
Yeah.
The show the celebs watch.
I have
Yeah.
to carry these guys. JP. One other Club MX guy to mention. I don't know if they've announced this, and our other filmer over there, Rob, would know. He can nod. He can choose to not say, confirm, or deny. I believe Cody Schock's going back to
Yeah.
a 450 this summer.
Yeah, he
Summer
is.
of Schock.
He is.
Can't count that out.
No, we got report this week. He rode a 2-stroke backwards on the Supercross track. So, yeah. So I think Cody Schock's getting ready for motocross.
Oh, sounds like it.
Rode a 2-stroke backwards
Right,
on the Supercross.
that used to be a normal thing. Guys would ride the Supercross tracks backwards quite a bit just to change it up,
Okay.
work on your skill set. Yeah, it's not.
Schock could shock people. He was.
Oh,
He's a
he's
good
awesome.
outdoor
Could he
guy.
be the shock of the summer?
He absolutely
He
could
could
be
be.
the shock
Yep.
this summer.
Yep.
And then
Tough
also,
field though. Gosh, just look at the
I
guys
know.
in this.
But we haven't even talked about Malcolm and Barcia, right? And like, where are they going to be?
Do you expect a lot from Malcolm?
Or Barcia?
5 to 10. Yeah.
Really? See, I would say that's going to be tough. Look at the lineup, man.
10 is
Yeah, I
pretty
would say
tough.
more like 8 to 10.
With this group?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, if it thins out,
Yeah.
some guys get hurt, sure. But
And same thing with Barcia, which we don't even know his situation. He has a knee injury. He's going to be back. But I remember he was fighting a knee injury at the beginning, I think, of last year. It never really turned.
And RJ Hampshire is making his 450
Whoa,
debut.
is he? Is he?
I mean, he's been practicing
Okay.
on the 450.
He said yesterday in the press conference, I'm in for all 11
Yep.
rounds.
And he told me he was going to start the series.
I think we're at least seeing him at Fox Raceway.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's count on that.
Okay.
Let's count on that.
24, he's moving on up.
This, I know we say it all the time. This has to be the deepest field
It
ever.
is. It is. And that's
for
why
pro
like
motocross.
you think everybody like, we're going to be 5 to 10 sounds right. And you start adding them up and you're like, well, all these guys can't be 5 to 10.
Yeah, 5 could be, you have Sexton, the Lawrence brothers, Prado, Tomac. That's 5 already.
There's your 5.
Good luck, everybody.
You're going to beat them?
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, great
Yes.
job.
I think that'll do. Thanks to our sponsors, which is New Ray Toys, Monster Energy, Fly Racing, Motosport, and Maxima. Thanks for backing us. We will be back, of course, with a 250 show that we will shoot right here. Probably have some. Actually, there are no hot takes for you on Deegs because when it comes to outdoors, you don't doubt him as a rider.
No, Diggs going to win the outdoors.
Yeah, exactly.
Diggs gonna
Exactly.
win the outdoors.
But thanks for
Doesn't matter
watching
how
the
many-
shows.
How many dumb things he says on the podium.
We know you'll get to that as well. Anyway, thanks for watching the shows. Enjoy the racing. What has to be the deepest field ever for a 450 Pro Motocross opener. See you in 2 weeks at Pala.